Have you ever wondered why some people seem to win at life without being the smartest, richest, or even the most talented? They're not lucky. They're not born special. They're using a skill that's so powerful, so life-altering, it was intentionally kept out of your education. This skill can influence how much money you make, who you attract, how you're treated, and even how you feel every day. And the craziest part? You've been punished for using it your entire life. Let me explain. When you were a kid, you had it. You used it freely. You questioned everything. You spoke your mind. You asked why over and over, not to annoy people, but to understand, to challenge, to create. But then something happened. You got shut down. Teachers told you to sit down, be quiet, follow the rules. Don't ask, don't doubt, don't think for yourself. And that's exactly how they trained you, to obey, not to lead, to follow, not to innovate, to conform, not to question. But what if I told you the skill they buried was actually the foundation of every major success story? It's called critical thinking. Sounds simple, right? But in today's world, it's almost extinct, because real critical thinking makes you dangerous, not violent, dangerous to the systems that want you passive, distracted, and controllable. Let me prove it to you. Why do you think ads work so well? Because most people never question them. Why do you think fake news spreads faster than truth? Because most people don't analyze. They react, they scroll, they consume, they obey. And here's the real kicker. The people who win, CEOs, creators, entrepreneurs, they all mastered this forbidden skill. Not in school, but in real life. They saw the system, they broke the rules, and they built something better. Still think it's not that deep? Let me show you how deep this rabbit hole goes. Look at someone like Elon Musk. Love him or hate him, he questions everything. When NASA said rockets had to cost billions, he asked why. He challenged the formula and built his own. Or think about Steve Jobs. He didn't follow the tech playbook. He rewrote it because he thought differently. He questioned normal, and normal never creates extraordinary. That's the point. The people who changed the world didn't just learn skills, they unlearned the lies. They stopped accepting reality as given, and that's when everything shifted. Now, let's talk about you. What have you been blindly accepting? What rules are you following without even realizing? What thoughts were implanted in your brain that don't even belong to you? Here's a brutal truth. Most of your beliefs aren't yours. They were handed to you by parents, teachers, media, culture. You didn't choose them. You inherited them. And until you challenge them, they control you. But once you start thinking for yourself, everything changes. You stop chasing success and start designing it. You stop being manipulated and start influencing. You stop existing and start living. Here's how it works. Critical thinking isn't about being a skeptic all the time. It's about learning to ask better questions. Instead of, "Is this true?" you ask, "Who benefits from this being true?" Instead of, "What should I do?" you ask, "Why is this the only option I see?" Instead of, "What if I fail?" you ask, "What if staying the same is worse?" Powerful, right? But here's the thing. School never taught you that. Because school wasn't built to create thinkers. It was built to create workers. Obedient, efficient, replaceable. It's a factory system designed in the industrial age, and we're still trapped in it. Grades over growth, memorization over mastery, approval over authenticity. But you don't have to play by those rules anymore. You can unlearn the limits. You can develop the skill that actually matters in the real world. Let me show you how. Step 1. Kill the autopilot. Most people live their lives on default mode. Same habits, same thoughts, same routines, day after day. You want change? Break the pattern. When you feel resistance, lean into it. Ask, why do I believe this? Ask, who told me this was the truth? You'll be shocked at how many of your truths are just repeated lies. Step 2. Embrace mental discomfort. Thinking critically is uncomfortable. It challenges your ego. It forces you to admit, I might be wrong. And that's hard, but it's also where growth happens. No growth ever came from staying comfortable. Step 3. Build a BS detector. Not everything that glitters is gold, and not everything that goes viral is true. Start spotting manipulation. Look at the source. Follow the money. Track the incentives. Step 4. Question the mainstream. Not out of rebellion, but out of curiosity. If everyone is doing it, is it actually right or just popular? If everyone believes it, who benefits from them believing it? Remember this, just because something is common doesn't mean it's correct. And just because something is rare doesn't mean it's wrong. Critical thinking is a superpower in a world that runs on blind faith. And the best part, you don't need permission to use it. You just need courage. Now imagine this. You start thinking for yourself. You start questioning everything. You stop accepting and start investigating. How different would your life look in 6 months? In a year? In 5 years? Would you still be in the same job? Same relationships? Same mindset? Probably not. Because the moment you start thinking freely is the moment you stop settling. You become the designer of your life, not just a consumer of someone else's blueprint. But be warned, it's not easy. You'll face resistance. People will call you arrogant, difficult, even dangerous, because you're not following the script. But that's the price of freedom. And once you taste it, you'll never go back. You'll realize most people aren't living. They're just surviving, repeating, reacting, following rules they never chose, but not you. You're awake now. You see through the noise. You question the obvious. You think critically. And that makes you powerful. So what now? Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, question everything. Not with hate, but with curiosity. Every post, every headline, every fact. Don't just accept, analyze. Don't just believe, investigate. Start with your own thoughts. Why do I believe this? Where did it come from? Is it serving me or limiting me? And if it's a limit, break it. Because here's the truth they'll never teach you in school. You don't need more information. You need transformation. And that starts not with answers, but with better questions. You've just remembered the skill they tried to make you forget. Now it's time to use it, relentlessly, intelligently, and unapologetically. Because once your mind is free, no one can ever cage you again. Welcome to the rebellion.